Hi, I'm Max from No Tech Drama, and in this video I'm going to discuss my decision about upgrading the BitFenix Phenom, which is the case that I had so far. So let's see in this video which are the current trend in case and which case you should choose for a micro ATX system. I want to take the BitFenix Phenom not because it's a bad case, but it's not really suiting the type of build I want to do at the moment. I upgraded my graphic cards from a GTX 750 to a RX 480, so temperatures and airflow become a little bit more critical. And as well, the BitFenix Phenom is a good case if you want to have lots of storage options, but it's not necessarily the best case to showcase your build. Actually, it doesn't have tempered glass or even a side panel. It's not even possible to have it optional with the BitFenix Phenom, although it's based on the Prodigy. There's no side panel with window for the BitFenix Phenom. So I found myself at a point where I wanted to get a new case, and there were a few things I was considering for that. First of all, the case needs to have a certain size. I didn't want to have something massive. I want better airflow. I want a slightly bigger case to eventually be able to upgrade, eventually go Crossfire at some point. But I don't need something huge because that space I have is not bad, but it's kind of limited. I don't want to have a huge tower, so I was looking for a mid tower, so a good size mid tower, not too big, not too small. Obviously, what you're going to look for in 2017 in a case is tempered glass. As well, in the Computex 2017 that is just ended, tempered glass is not going to go away anytime soon. Is the trend, is a premium material, is the way to go to showcase your build. Now, obviously, if you have the tempered glass, what else you need is illumination. So, more likely an LED strip or LED fans that are able to illuminate the build so you can see inside. The next thing I wanted to consider for this build is to ensure that I'm going to use PWM fans. So, fans where the speed can be easily regulated by the motherboard so that the overall noise of the computer is not going to be that high. Still, you won't be able to not spin the fans at a high speed when you're gaming, but when I do the less demanding tasks, I will prefer to have my build a little bit more quiet. So, to summarize, these are the things where I was looking for: size, tempered glass, some sort of illumination, and be sure that the build will include PWM fans. So, let's see which are the cases that I narrowed down to after long research in Hardwarecanuck and YouTube in general and looking loads of reviews. So this may be useful to you if you're undecided on which case you should upgrade now. So the first case I considered, which was looking very cute, is the Cooltek RM3, which has very good case, good materials, tempered glass, aluminium, and the size especially is very nice because it's fairly compact. The next case that makes it to the shortlist is the NZXT S340 Elite. Now, this is a widely popular case, has been praised in many reviews, and was really close to get picked up. Then, the latest one I came across that I start to consider was the Corsair 460X Crystal, which is the tempered glass version on the 460X. So how does these three cases compare to each other? So if we go by a price order, right, because budget obviously is important and it's always a factor, the NZXT S340 is coming in Amazon at €95, more or less. The Elite version obviously with tempered glass. Then we have the Corsair 460X is coming at €155, right, so this is pretty steeper price. And then we have the Cooltek RM3 that is coming at €160. Now, the pricing of the Cooltek RM3 was for me kind of like a reason to let that case go. Because for €160, I was getting tempered glass, I was getting a good size, but even maybe too small size. And yeah, given the size of the case and the price tag, I felt that was too much. So this narrowed down to two choices. Either you go with the NZXT S340 or you go with the Corsair 460X. Now, from a budget perspective, you may think, well, the NZXT is the one that makes sense from a price point of view, right? Because it's €95 against under 55. But the thing that was missing for me in the NZXT was no PWM fan included with the case, and actually few reviews lament that the case is a little bit toward the noisy side, and no LED strips, right? So no illumination unless I buy an additional LED strip. Once you factor in the NZXT case the fact that you need to buy PWM fans and you need to buy an LED strips, and you consider as well the shipping cost of receiving the fans and receiving the LED strip separately from the case, is where you can start to get the price very close to the Corsair HD 460. And compared to the HD 460X, although the price is getting closer by buying the PWM fan and the LED strip, still you're not matching all the features, because with a Corsair case you get 3 PWM fans, and not only you have illumination, but it's RGB illumination. From an aesthetic point of view, there are a few things as well that I don't like about the S340. One, you cannot remove the rubber fits at the bottom of the case, and I'm not too fan of those. And the thing that really threw me off for the S340 is the small cutout for the top fan, the 120mm fans on the top of the case, which is not that aesthetically pleasing, especially in the white version. And the case is not coming with a dust filter, making it look a little bit cheap and a little bit ugly, but that's maybe just me. So what we get with the 460X Crystal instead? Well, first of all, we have 3 PWM fans, so that is sorted. They come with RGB illumination, so nice illumination in your case. And is it possible to remove the fits at the bottom of the case? Although I'm not sure then how stable it's going to be on the desk, but that's what I'm going to try out. Now, one thing that maybe a little bit worried about the 460X, a lot of people were lamenting challenging cable management because there's not so much space behind the motherboard for the 460X. And that compared to the S340, where everyone was praising it for how easy it is to build. Now, given that my build is fairly simple, I have one GPU and one SSD and one 3.5 mechanical hard drive, I don't believe I'm going to have that many of the challenges from a cable management perspective. But yeah, I think I'm going to be fine with that. But we will see when I'm going to build it. So the decision is made. 460X, I'm going to battle with those cables, cram them all inside. I will obviously do a video of the build. The case is not with me yet, but it's actually just arrived at the mailing depot, so I should just need to go to pick it up today, and I will start definitely to film me moving the build from the BitFenix Phenom onto the 460X Crystal. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these 3 cases you believe was the best option, the Cooltek, the NZXT or the Corsair? And especially after the Computex, which is the case that you would like to have if you are looking for an upgrade? I know I went for an old model, the 460X, but you know, prices start to go down now for the Computex, and I think that if you still find a case that is current with the current trends, it's going to be a good way to go, spend a little bit less and get the feature with it. But let me know if you think I did a mistake, if I should have choose a different case, and which case you recently upgrade to, and if tempered glass and RGB are going to go anywhere for 2017 and 2018. Thank you everyone, and if you like this video, please thumbs up, this helps a lot. And as well, if it's the first time you stumble upon my channel, feel free to subscribe to receive more of these videos and notifications. Thank you everyone, and see you in the next one. Illumination, 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 but is RGB illumination.